So I'll go through the introductions really quickly, but this is the AI Practical Lab, refreshed, reinvigorated, ready to go for 2026. Today, we have a four-step model that we're going to be looking at. And if you're like, 4 steps, I thought it was 3 steps. Well, welcome to 2026. We added a step, and I'll talk about that in a moment. But we are going to look at the 4-step model, but we're really going to hone in on making sure that we're solving the right problem. So as L&D professionals, we get our internal clients coming to us, or external clients, as it were, if you're a consultant externally. But we get the client coming to us and they ask us for something. And sometimes we just get really excited and we start going down this path of solutioning. And Dustin taught us in December, or reminded us, hey, wait a minute, what's the real problem? And that sparked where we updated the model and also where we're going to head today. So just real quick, this is I think a pretty seasoned ELE crew, so you all could probably also share why you love ELE. But I have to say that this Practical Lab is one of the reasons why I love it so much. It is just representative of a community of people who come together, roll up their sleeves, and work side by side to solve real world problems and help all of us do better in our role for the companies that we care for. Okay, so today, this is a little bit newer. So if you weren't on the last Practical Lab, I'll just catch you up. We're kind of creating a little bit of a formula for this just so that you know what to expect when you get here. So we have, and by the way, if there's a role that at some point you're like, hey, that's a cool role, I want to play that role, you can let us know. But what we're going to start doing is sort of labeling folks, and they're playing particular personas. So today, Anton is our internal client. Ed is our AI learning guru, and he's going to be here to shepherd us through some of that co-working time. Dustin has agreed to be the real world skeptic, and I will just MC this thing and kind of carry us through. And I might bounce around from client to skeptic back and forth a little bit. So this is just, again, a summary. We're going to use this kind of same model where we're using AI to address an internal client's particular problem or challenge or opportunity. And then we're bringing the skeptics to make sure it's real life. Today's flow is a slightly different thing, because usually what we'd want to do is start out with our internal client. But today we're going to start out a little bit differently. So get ready. If you're on your laptop and you want to use your phone, that might help. If you're on your phone and you want to grab another device, but we're all going to dive into AI to start out with today. And we're going to build a tool, and then we're going to bring our client in and we're going to test our tool against the client we're going to co-create with our client, see how that goes, and then we'll bring in the skeptic, and the skeptic can help us kind of sort through our yeah buts on how realistic is this. So the challenge at hand is that clients come to us and they say, we need training, right? So we get the order, and we all hate the order, right? We get the order and we feel like we're already halfway down a road that like we should have been there at the start. Right. So the client comes with the order. That order comes with a whole bunch of assumptions. And so before we dive into the order, we want to take a step back, and we really want to clarify. That's the step 1 here in our model. We want to clarify, is this the right problem to solve? And is learning the right solution? So it's 2 parts. Is it the right problem? And is learning really the right solution? So you can see we had the original 3-step model, which was to clarify, create, and customize. And what we realized is we really need to slow our roll on our thing. Get it? Bad pun, sorry. But we need an extra step in there. And so we have this clarify, really making sure we're defining the challenge. What that naturally does then is give us a step 4, which is commit, where once we have determined the actual problem, we've co-created some kind of a solution for it, we've tailored it to the situation and tested it out, we can come back and say, did we really move the needle on that problem, right? And so now we can really get some true metrics around impact, because we know what should have changed. So that's the 4-step model. Today, we're really going to hone in on 1 and 4 with a special treatment on 1. So the AI time that we want to spend now is we want to get into AI, and Ed's going to lead us. I'm also going to put into the chat in a moment. So if you want to, go ahead and grab that link that I put into the chat. That's a shared folder. In there is a sample AI prompt. You can use that prompt. You can follow along with what Ed is going to do. You can use your own prompt. The goal that we want to get to is a set of questions that we can ask our client. So when they come with the order we can be more strategic about it. And we can ask them certain questions that get to what problem are we really trying to solve? And is learning really the best way to go about it? So, by the way, these are a couple of models. So if you're like, wait a minute, what are we talking about here? If you need a picture and it's worth 1,000 words, these are two different models. This is the performance consulting model, zhuzhed up, as my friend Darlene would say, zhuzhed up with AI. There's also the capability blueprint, which is something that ELE had put together with Tad Waddington when he was over at Accenture. The idea in both of these is just to show we have business goals and we have on-the-job performance, and somehow we have a gap. We're not hitting the business goals, so we need to look at what is causing that gap between the goals we want and the goals we're getting. And we sort of dive in and we look at external factors and internal factors to get there. Again, not assuming that it is knowledge, attitude, skills, and habits of the learner. These are just examples for you. You can use them or not use them. But I'm going to stop sharing, and Ed, I'm going to turn it over to you. And you can start to get them going on using AI. And again, our goal for the AI is elevating ourselves from order taker to trusted advisor and kind of coming up with this step one playbook. So Ed, go ahead and take it away.
So I wanted to just, kind of start out with some of the basics. So, we've been tasked with going through and saying, I need training on this software platform. That's not giving us a lot of information. Everything that we do now needs to be analyzed, needs to be confirmed that we're making a difference. So we have to go through and incorporate analytics. We have to go through and think about what cultural change we want to make, what behaviors do we want to modify, and then how are we going to track all that stuff out. So whenever I'm going through and doing a prompt, I'm always going to ask myself, who do I want to be? Who is the expert in this particular area that's going to help me out so I can prepare myself as I go through and work with the client, the stakeholder, the business owner. So what I do is I wanted to start out with a real simple prompt to get us fired up.